You have power within you. It is easy to forget this truth when life overwhelms you with disappointments, setbacks, or unexpected turns. The temptation is to believe that you are simply a victim of circumstances, tossed around by forces bigger than yourself. But the reality is, you carry something greater inside of you than anything that comes against you. The strength within you is not measured by the size of the mountain you face, but by the depth of the resilience you were created with. Every challenge, every hardship, every trial may try to drain you, but they cannot erase what has already been placed inside of you. That power is not given by people, and it cannot be taken away by people. It is not something earned by success, nor is it destroyed by failure. It has been written into the very fabric of your being. The problem is not that you lack power. The problem is often that you have not tapped into it. Too many times, people look at their limitations and define themselves by what they cannot do, instead of recognizing what they already carry. It's like having a treasure locked in your own house, but living as though you are broke. You are not powerless, but until you believe it, you will continue to live beneath your potential. Power is most effective when it is acknowledged, activated, and applied. Belief is the doorway through which power walks into reality. Think about how often we allow our emotions, doubts, or external voices to silence the strength within us. You might have failed once, twice, or even 10 times, but that doesn't mean you have lost your power. You may have been told you are not good enough, but that doesn't change the truth of what has been deposited in you. Power is not the absence of struggle, it is the presence of perseverance. The fact that you are still here, still breathing, still moving forward in spite of all you've been through, is evidence that there is power at work in you. When storms come, the natural instinct is to run, hide, or give up. But when you know there is something within you that is greater than the storm, your response changes. Instead of crumbling, you stand. Instead of quitting, you push. Instead of doubting, you believe. That inner power allows you to speak to your fear rather than let fear speak to you. It allows you to face situations that seem impossible and still walk forward with faith. It enables you to rise after being knocked down and declare that the story is not over. Power within you is not always about loud displays or dramatic moments. Sometimes it shows itself in the quiet decision to get up in the morning when everything inside you says stay down. Sometimes it looks like choosing hope when despair would be easier. Sometimes it shows up as forgiving someone who hurt you deeply, not because they deserve it, but because you refuse to let bitterness control your life. That kind of power is deep, steady, and unshakable. It's not based on how strong you feel in the moment, but on the truth that you were created with more resilience, courage, and authority than you realize. Don't surrender to fear or doubt. These are the twin thieves that silently creep into the mind, robbing you of courage and convincing you that you are less than what you are. Fear whispers that the future is too uncertain, that the road is too dangerous, that you do not have what it takes. Doubt echoes, questioning your worth, questioning your strength, questioning whether your steps will ever lead to anything good. If you allow them, fear and doubt will chain you in place, keeping you from moving forward, keeping you from experiencing what you were designed for. But the truth is, they only have the power you give them. They do not rule over you unless you hand them the keys. Fear and doubt thrive in the shadows of the unknown. They feed on uncertainty, on past mistakes, and on the opinions of others. You may hear voices from your past reminding you of the times you tried and failed. You may hear critics pointing out what they think you cannot do, and if you are not careful, those voices start to sound like truth. But they are lies dressed in the clothing of logic. Just because you failed before doesn't mean you will fail forever. Just because others couldn't see your value doesn't mean it isn't there. You are not defined by the voices around you. You are defined by the power within you. And when you hold on to that, fear and doubt begin to lose their grip. Fear is not always loud. Sometimes it shows up in hesitation, in procrastination, in the quiet decision to shrink back instead of stepping forward. Doubt often comes disguised as rational caution, convincing you that waiting forever is safer than taking one brave step. But progress is never birthed from fear. Freedom is never discovered through doubt. Everything you hope to experience on the other side of struggle requires courage to push through what intimidates you. Fear will tell you that you're not ready. Doubt will tell you that you're not worthy. But neither of them has the final say. Every time you act in faith, even trembling faith, you silence their voices a little more. Every time you take a step forward despite not seeing the whole path, you weaken their hold on you. Fear and doubt may show up, but they don't have to sit in the driver's seat. You can acknowledge their presence without letting them control your direction. When you decide not to surrender, something shifts inside of you. You begin to see obstacles as opportunities to grow instead of reasons to quit. You begin to hear possibility louder than limitation, and you realize that fear and doubt are nothing more than smoke screens, illusions that only appear strong until you confront them. The moment you stand your ground, you discover that what you were afraid of had less power than you thought. The moment you refuse to bow to doubt, you uncover courage you didn't know you had. Weakness can be a beginning, not the end. Too often, when people feel weak, they automatically assume it disqualifies them from moving forward, from rising, or from achieving anything significant. Weakness is viewed as failure, as if it's the final word on who you are and what you can become. But weakness is not a dead end, it is a doorway. It is the place where growth begins, where strength is built, and where character is refined. Weakness exposes your limits, but it also invites you to discover resources you never knew you had. When you come to the end of yourself, you stand at the threshold of something greater. The moments when you feel like you cannot go on are often the very moments when resilience is born. Weakness strips away pride, comfort, and illusion, leaving you face with reality. And in that reality, you find the opportunity to rebuild, not from a place of pretending to be strong, but from the authenticity of starting again. Weakness is not a sign that you have lost. It is a reminder that you are still in the fight, that you are still pressing on, even when you feel like everything in you has been drained. Think about how many victories have been born out of weakness. The most powerful testimonies often do not come from people who had everything under control. They come from people who fell, who broke, who admitted they were struggling, but who chose not to let weakness be the conclusion of their story. They used it as the foundation to rise, to lean into strength that went beyond what they thought they had. Weakness reveals your humanity, but it also reveals your capacity to overcome. Weakness has the power to humble you, but it also has the power to shape you. It strips away arrogance and teaches you empathy. When you've walked through seasons of weakness, you develop a deeper compassion for others in their struggles. You begin to see that strength is not about never falling, it is about rising after the fall. Weakness shows you that strength is not always about muscle or willpower. It is about endurance, patience, and the quiet decision to keep showing up. Instead of hiding your weakness, learn from it. Instead of running from it, face it. It is in those vulnerable moments that you discover how much you are truly capable of. Weakness is the soil in which perseverance grows. It teaches you how to push through when comfort is gone. It trains you to depend less on appearances and more on substance. It shapes you into someone who doesn't just survive storms, but learns how to navigate them with resilience. When you understand that weakness is not the end but the beginning, you stop despising those moments when you feel empty. You start to see them as a setup for renewal. You realize that weakness does not disqualify you. It prepares you. It opens the door to growth that cannot be found in ease. And it reminds you that even when you feel like you've lost everything, there is still more within you waiting to rise. Power takes many forms. Too often people mistake power for loudness, for dominance, for the ability to control others or command attention. They think it only looks like standing tall, speaking boldly, or being visibly strong. But power does not always announce itself with noise. Sometimes the greatest display of power comes in silence, in patience, in the quiet determination not to quit when quitting would be easier. True power is versatile. It can roar like thunder, or it can flow steadily like a river, carving through stone over time. Consider persistence. To the outside world, persistence may not look powerful. It's simply the act of continuing, of moving forward one step at a time, even when progress feels invisible. Yet persistence is one of the strongest expressions of power because it refuses to bow to discouragement. Every day you choose to press on, you are demonstrating power over the forces that want you to stop. The ability to keep showing up, to keep trying, to keep believing is not weakness. It's strength disguised in consistency. Prayer is another form of power that often gets overlooked. It doesn't look dramatic. It's not always accompanied by lightning or fireworks. But prayer is the act of aligning yourself with something greater, drawing strength beyond your own. In prayer, power is cultivated quietly, but its impact is undeniable. It fortifies the spirit, steadies the heart, and provides clarity when chaos surrounds you. What may seem invisible in the moment becomes visible in the endurance, courage, and peace you gain through it. There is also power in patience. The world teaches us that power is about speed, about getting results quickly, about proving yourself right away. But real strength is sometimes revealed in the willingness to wait, to trust the process, and to let things unfold in the right season. Patience requires discipline, and discipline requires strength. To wait without bitterness, to endure without giving in to frustration, is not weakness. It's one of the strongest demonstrations of inner authority. Forgiveness is yet another form of power. Many think that holding a grudge makes them strong, that refusing to let go keeps them in control. But the truth is, bitterness chains you to the past. Forgiveness, on the other hand, sets you free. It takes courage to release what hurt you. It takes authority over your emotions to say, "I will not let this wound define me." Forgiveness doesn't erase the pain, but it denies the pain the ability to control your life. That is power. Power takes many shapes and expressions. It's not always about the visible victory. Sometimes it's about the unseen endurance. It may look like getting up again after failure, or like holding your peace when chaos invites you to explode. It may look like a smile in the middle of sorrow, or like hope when despair surrounds you. Every time you choose persistence, patience, prayer, or forgiveness, you are exercising a form of power that changes you from within and influences the world around you. Declare your authority over obstacles. Life will always present challenges that seem larger than you, mountains that block your path, storms that threaten to overwhelm you. The natural reaction is to shrink back, to feel small in the face of so much opposition. But obstacles do not define your limits, they define your opportunities to rise. You have a voice, and that voice carries authority. The way you speak to your challenges, the way you frame your struggles, has the power to shift your perspective and ignite your strength. When you declare who you are and what you carry, you remind every obstacle that it does not get the final word. Too many people surrender their authority without even realizing it. They allow problems to narrate their story. They let fear, failure, or discouragement become the loudest voice in the room. But when you learn to declare your authority, you refuse to let your circumstances dictate your identity. You may not control everything that comes against you, but you do control what you say to it and how you choose to respond. Speaking life into the face of difficulty is not denial, it is direction. It is setting your course toward hope rather than despair, toward victory rather than defeat. Obstacles lose their power when you stop bowing to them. You may feel pressure, you may feel fear, but you have the authority to stand and declare that the pressure will not break you. Speaking to your challenges is not about empty words. It's about activating the power that is already inside you. Every declaration is a reminder to yourself and to your circumstances that you are not powerless, that you will not quit, and that you refuse to live beneath the potential placed within you. Authority is not arrogance. It's not pretending that problems don't exist. It's acknowledging the size of the problem while still affirming the greatness of the strength within you. When you declare your authority, you are choosing faith over fear, purpose over panic, determination over defeat. You are saying to the mountain, "You may be big, but you are not bigger than what is inside me." You are saying to the storm, "You may rage, but you will not drown me." You are saying to your past, "You may have shaped me, but you will not stop me." There is something powerful about putting words to your identity. Silent thoughts can be shaken, but spoken declarations anchor your soul. They create focus, clarity, and determination. When you say, "I am not powerless, I am stronger than this moment, I will not be defeated," you begin to believe it, and belief shapes behavior. Your words set the tone for your actions. Speak with authority, and your steps will begin to align with that authority. Obstacles are not just barriers. They are opportunities to declare who you are. Each challenge gives you the chance to rise, to affirm your power, and to silence every voice that says you cannot. Your authority is not in the size of your strength, but in the confidence of your declaration. The moment you lift your voice and stand firm, you remind the world and yourself, no obstacle has the right to dictate your destiny.